because we probably have some club members who know NFCC from the perspective of, I drop my stuff off there, right? I make donations there,
Yeah.
and I know that there's a food bank, right?
Yeah,
And
that's true. Yeah.
And, that's sort of probably, most of our club understands those things.
Yeah, the most visible thing that NFCC does is that we have the thrift store, which is now closed, and we have a food bank. But the overall mission is to, first of all, we want to stabilize families, and we do that with the food pantry, and that's a choice pantry. But most importantly, the biggest stability piece that we offer financially is housing. Hairdressers, massage therapists, independent contractors, restaurant workers who did not know where to turn. So with the funds, we were able to quickly turn that into payment of rent, payment of utilities. We modified a lot of different things, but generally we are seeing the need for rent and utilities right around the $800 to $1,000 mark. That is an increase of about $250 more than we received a year ago. So the money that we've already received has gone right back out into the community, supporting those families who are in immediate crisis. And many of those families are first time to NFCC or haven't seen us in more than 2 years.
I'm someone who's I'm coming in your lobby. I've got needs, how those needs are assessed, how I've gotten help with either food or rent or utilities or all the different ways that you help that are beyond the food bank.
But they're able to start that application process right online. So it is transparent. There's dignity using the screen. We're finding that it's very receptive. They can start an application, and we're just going to assess where you are, what your needs are, where you live. Because there are people who live in Roswell that are also in Cobb County. We serve North Fulton. So within 24 hours, that application is reviewed by our intake team, and the team is going to further evaluate and pass it on to a case manager. And right now, we are asking when I say very few questions, we want to see that they have a lease, they actually live here, it's something legitimate, they have a past due bill, and our case managers are working fast and furious to go ahead, and they're actually having to cut checks because a lot of people don't have access to bank accounts or their online banking is not an option. So first and foremost, we're able to process and accept and talk to people about their needs. But we have to address everyone. We have to get them to the right service area. We have to get them situated. So fast and furious, walking through that process. It could be a utility bill to Georgia Power. It could be a rent to a landlord. It could be partial rent to a landlord. It could be also to pay for transportation so I can still get to work. But yes, it's how we really stabilize families. And then we invite them in and says, and we have food as well. So when they come in for rent, we want to make sure they're also getting food. And one of the things my team has said is that they wish they had more time to listen to the stories. There's just so many people asking for help right now. And since March 13th, and we just started counting, we call that Friday the 13th, we've had over 1,000 requests for service. So everything's exploded. We are partnering with our other agencies. Senior Services has offered to help us process anyone over 60. Miracle League, if you have a family with a disability, they'll help us, with that. So it's NFCC is kind of leading the way, but we're partnering to make sure that we can get as many families stable as possible so then they can figure out their next step, being financially, getting back to financial stability. But we believe it's going to be a long time. So we're trying to eat our Wheaties and prepare for the long haul.
I was there early when you had just switched over to just in-car delivery, right? Where people were coming in.
Yes.
And it looked like you guys were doing an amazing job. How has that process been? Does it continue? Does it? But the
You
improvements,
know, first of all, there's no playbook in any of this, and we're trying to work with all the other food agencies. We have a amazing team here that has stayed on site. First we were going to just give out boxes of food, and we found out the line was down Elkins Road, and then as soon as they were out of the parking lot, things were flying out of the boxes that we prepared for them. So we quickly modified to an online ordering system, much like Instacart. Right now we have 45 different items, including toilet paper, cleaning supplies, and fresh produce that our families can order. And they're processed, and their orders are filled, and they can choose when they come to pick it up. So we're monitoring the parking lot and people coming in. It's definitely Instacart style, with our facilities team running the groceries, limited contact, no one is in the lobby. And it's gotten very efficient. And I think their record yesterday, filling the orders with senior services in the pantry to you was 114.
are there immediate needs? Do you have items that you need, or donations that you need, or
So,
your hours that you could use, or?
Yeah, I wish we had more hours in a day to sleep and more hours in a day to process all our financial needs for our families. We are keeping our website updated. We have, you listened to our call when we needed beans and rice. We will continue to need food throughout May, throughout June. Don't forget, summer will start these school meal programs, which have been fabulous. They're providing meals and we're providing food, and we're trying to also partner with them. So when they're providing the school meals, that we have assistance cards. So families don't know about us, they can connect with us. So our needs right now continue to be financial assistance, because it makes us go further faster.
Along those lines, the grant that you got from Fulton County,
Yeah.
what sort of runway does that give you? Is that,
Yeah.
a month?
Everybody says, oh, you got, all this money from Fulton County. We have to report on that every week. We anticipated serving about 300 families with assistance, and that should help us go through some of June, but that's allowing only families to have assistance once. We believe families may need assistance at least 2 times, and within a 45 days. But our goal is to come up with programs to help them look for ways to supplement income, reduce expenses, and get back to a sense of self-stability. Fulton County has trusted us to help a lot of people. We want people to know that to refer people. And we are getting out money and rent and utilities as fast as we can. From what I understand, some of the backlog is because we still have to see that they have a lease and they have an actual need.
Let's say, things go as planned, and we're, 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and 2 weeks, we're, phase 3, sort of June-ish. What do you see in the sort of immediate future as the big needs, or how you're going to be able to help? Sort of how long do you see this going until?
Well, one of the early indicators of how our families were doing and how they were surviving is that they're struggling. They can work. We have a lot of people who maybe work at grocery stores. They don't have childcare. So the childcare piece needs to be solved for many of our families. Dual income families, they just have to figure out, what shifts they can work. This is the first wave of layoffs, and I know that the governor has decided to open. We're going to be cautious because families that we serve live in tight quarters. We serve elderly who are also vulnerable. So we are going to continue operating in the model that we have.
Along the lines of daycare, are there facilities, or is there a group that has solved that problem?
From what I understand, that the Poverty Task Force meets frequently, and it keeps coming up, and until they can come up with a way to keep people and confirm that we have a safe environment for families, it's going to be a struggle. It might have to be child care providers within their own family. I don't know what the solution is. I just know that's one of the barriers to getting a lot of the families back to work. It's hard with school being out. We realize our teachers are doing more for us and the economy than we realized, but huge barrier for our families right now.
So from a Rotary perspective, what can we do to help you? I mean, other than encouraging our members to donate. I mean, that I've got.
Yeah, I know. I think that, we should continue to be in contact because you're our partner when we're ready for volunteers. We know we can count on you to come. We will at some point need to reopen our store. We will need help doing that with donations, actual physical donations. We will need help restocking the food pantry. We haven't inventoried any of that. There will be, please don't be anxious because there'll be plenty to do volunteer wise. Okay. Continue, if you have people who are doing food recovery runs, please continue to do that. If you have ideas about doing any food drives, pantry drives, it's comforting to know that, we have Rotary supporting so many great organizations and knowing that the organizations are working together to make the community better.